Welcome back everyone to another video here. Today I'm going back to doing some in-person updates for you. And I'm starting off first today over at the Disneyland Hotel. I didn't talk about that during my Disney 100 video, but they are also decked out for the Disney 100 celebration. And it's a really packed day today. But let's go ahead and start off first over at Disneyland Hotel to kind of give you an update over there, show you where it's at, and then we'll head into Disneyland Park because there's some special park hopping rules that changed this weekend that allow us to do so. So let's go ahead and get started. So over here at the front valet drive of the Disneyland Hotel, they're still working on the Bell Valet storage area. So it's still temporarily across the street right over there in front of the hotel. So they do have a lot of construction, but there is something really cool and new at the entrance for Disney 100. So I wanted to show you what that looked like. So check out this new entrance rug. We actually talked about this not that long ago. They got a new one for the Design Hotel, but now they have another new one for Disney 100, as well as this really cool display as soon as you walk in the hotel. It's got the old Walt Disney Studios cut out of Walt Disney. Some great photo ops here. This is just in the lobby. So let's head out to the pool area so we can take a look at the progress of the new tower, the Vacation Club Tower at the back over there. Some more Disney 100 medallions over here, decorations for the Disney 100 celebration. Not too much, but there is some things. It looks like there's been a lot of progress too on the Disney Vacation Club Tower, so let's head back over to that corner, show you what it looks like. We're getting a lot closer to maybe when we see some of the tarps come down as they begin to prepare the outside of the tower. So we made our way over here to the Frontier Tower to check out some of the construction on the new Disney Vacation Club Tower here for the villas. Not too much has changed on the outside since the last time we were here, but you can see some new details emerging on the outside of the building. I would imagine it's not too many months more until we see the scrim drop and then just the interior work being done. But that really pretty much wraps up updates here at the Design Hotel. Let's go ahead and make our way through downtown Disney to Disneyland. I wanted to take a quick stop over here in downtown Disney to talk about the new location for Wonderground Gallery. This temporary location is actually over here in the ESPN zone, or former ESPN zone, where they had the History of Jazz exhibit here before. But it's a small little exhibit. Let's go check it out. So the exhibit's actually really small, much smaller than the other location that normally is open over on the other side of downtown Disney. But it's just temporary while they work and reconfigure the older locations. Not sure if it's going back to that old location or if it's getting a new home later on, but this is its temporary home, at least for now. Another location over here at downtown Disney under construction continues to be the Jazz Kitchen, but it has since reopened since its brief little closure during the construction, but there's still a lot of work going on while it remains open. I know a lot of people have been asking as well too, during the brief reopening during its renovation, the beignets and quick service location has not reopened. So it's just going to be the restaurant that's open, but I do believe that they're serving beignets at the restaurant, but I don't know if it's a to-go option or not. That's something you'd have to inquire with the restaurant. Another change I didn't talk about in my Disney 100 video is a brand new music Esplanade kind of loop that's playing here in downtown Disney, the Esplanade, parking areas, etc. They've got basically an homage to the history of Disney parks, which includes a lot of Walt Disney World stuff. I got Spaceship Earth playing behind me right now, which is totally weird to walk through Disneyland and hear Spaceship Earth, hear Figment's Journey into Imagination song. It's wild, but I really enjoy the change, and they really haven't changed that loop in a long time, so it's nice to hear something different, especially welcome all the Walt Disney World edition. Another recent change is the former La Brea Bakery location is giving a new temporary home to the Earl of Sandwich, which is just as popular as it was before, so definitely leave some time to wait in line because the line has not been short almost every day that I've checked since it's open, so But it's nice to see Earl of Sandwich back, even if it's temporary. That location has been earmarked to be the brand new location of Portos Bakery in the future. So they're currently imagining that space right now, but while they're imagining it and La Brea Bakery had to vacate the premises, they're going to let Earl of Sandwich temporarily use it, which Disney, as we know, teased that we would get a temporary pop-up location. Still no word yet, though, if Earl of Sandwich has a more permanent home in downtown Disney, moving forward into the future. I would hope so, but time will have to tell because they haven't really confirmed anything. But another big change I wanted to talk about, which is what I'm going to take advantage of right now, is early park hopping. So for those that don't know, starting on February 4th, they actually started park hopping at the Disneyland Resort at 11 a.m. So now, anytime after 11 a.m., you can go to either Disney California Adventure Park or Disneyland Park if you have park admission that allows you to park hop. So it doesn't matter your starting park. I know Walt Disney World has different rules in regards to this, but as far as Disneyland, it doesn't matter your starting park. If it's after the park hopping time, you're welcome to start at any park you would like without having to enter the park you originally had a reservation for. So I had a starting park reservation for Disney California Adventure, but I'm showing up just after 11 o'clock, so we're heading into Disneyland first. One thing I haven't done in a while is actually ride the Disneyland Railroad. So I'm going to go ahead and jump on today and maybe do a Grand Circle tour.
So please keep your strollers folded until you reach the bottom of the stairs. Thanks and welcome to Main Street, USA.
We'll be on our way again in just a few minutes. This is Main Street Station, Main Street, USA.
So we talked a few weeks ago about how Adventureland was a complete dead end, but that's all changed this weekend, and I wanted to kind of show you what they were working on and what's still closed as of right now. So if you remember last time, they had walls completely blocking off this whole area over here by Bengal Barbecue all the way across. You can now walk all the way over to Rivers of America through Adventureland. They did kind of redo the ground here, add some new rock work around Indiana Jones. Of course, Indiana Jones still remains closed as it's going to be under renovation through spring. And they have signs now talking about that specifically. We didn't really know a time frame, but now we know it's going to be spring. Some people were saying summer, but they do have a sign here talking about it being spring. And of course, Indiana Jones' main entrance is right next to the Adventureland treehouse, which is coming soon, which is probably why a lot of this has been reworked. Looks like they've definitely kind of opened up the space, given a little more room. But let's go ahead and walk on through. They were also working on the main entrance to the Adventureland treehouse, because as you know, it used to be right here in the middle of the pathway, and now it's going to be generally right over there next to the water feature. This whole area here too seems a little bit better graded, I guess you could say. Easier walking, also for probably wheelchair accessibility. But you can see the new entrance going to be right off the pathway there with the return of the water wheel feature. But basically we're standing right where basically the new entrance is going to be. But yeah, full access now walking through Adventureland to Frontierland and Rivers of America, which does mean that Fantasmic is back. It does get really packed at nighttime because not only are there fireworks for the new Wondrous Journey, but you have Fantasmic showings, as well as people trying to also make World of Color if they can. So keep that in mind when you guys are coming in the evenings, there's so much entertainment going on now at Disneyland with all these shows, and we're just weeks away from the Magic Happens Parade returning, so even more entertainment coming back to Disneyland. Over in New Orleans Square, some closures soon to be and closures already happening. Of course, the French Market we talked about before, closing on February 17th, so just a few days away from closing before it turns into Tiana's Palace restaurant, which is super exciting news. I was always hoping they would bring something like that to Disneyland, and they are. And then, of course, over here, Haunted Mansion has finally closed after its extended opening of Haunted Mansion Holiday. They kept it going all the way until January 30th, but Haunted Mansion is closed now as they remove the holiday layover. It's going to be a quick turnaround too, so it's actually opening on February 10th, this Friday, so not closed for very long at all. Disney's really good at getting the holiday layover installed and removed quicker than it really has ever been. So, but let's head back over to Splash Mountain area and check out if there's anything new going on over there. No real change over here in the Critter Country area. I thought maybe there might be some indication after Haunted Mansion closed of maybe some things kind of wrapping up over by Splash Mountain, but all signs are pointing to it staying open quite later than we had thought. I already assumed the ride would be closed at this point because typically we do see it close in the January-February timeframe, but we've heard nothing from Disney, even got additional information about Tiana's Bayou Adventure posted recently by Disney Parks blog, which I assumed they would take the moment to share with us the closing date of the attraction, but at this time it's still not scheduled to close. And the only thing I've heard rumor-wise has been maybe May. So I don't even know what to think about that as far as like the validity of it all, but it's already open well beyond when I thought it was going to be. So I do hope the amount of time they have left gives them ample time to create an amazing version for Tiana's Bayou Adventure. What they've shown us so far looks awesome, but I really hope it's not rushed. But then again, I have to think back at Mission Breakout over in Disney California Adventure and how little time they had to redo that attraction. And they did such an amazing job with that and its storyline, so I guess we can't lose faith. So I talked about this cavalcade, Mickey and Friends Cavalcade Special Disney 100 edition in my Disney 100 video, and it is listed in the app as when it starts, which is 1 p.m. daily, but it kind of changes where it comes from. The first day I watched it, it started at Small World, and a few other times I've watched it, it started on Main Street. So my best advice would be to just ask the cast members if they can let you know where it starts, but if you don't mind waiting for it, it'll show up on Main Street or wherever you're at some point, as long as you're on the parade route. I actually wasn't planning on catching the cavalcade. It was kind of on my way out over to Disney California Adventure. But now I'm heading over to DCA to check out the construction progress over at Pacific Wharf because they're already starting work on San Francisco, the transformation of that area into kind of that little mini land. But let's go check out and see what they've got done so far. It's a little loud over here because of the Lunar New Year music, but not too much has gone on just quite yet. It looks like they've set up some scaffolding over here by the entrance, but we can walk over to the other side and see if it looks any different, although all the water is gone. Now typically this is drained a little bit when Grizzly River Run is in operation, and then it's full when it's not, because this is actually where they store all the Grizzly River Run water. But right now, Grizzly River Run is under renovation, and they're also draining this out because they're working on it. So I would imagine all the work that they need to do inside the bay will probably need to get done before Grizzly River Run reopens, because they'll have to put the water back eventually. But let's go check out the other side. So of course, this will be the future entrance to the San Francisco area once they get started on it. Looks like on this side, just like mounds of dirt. They've done a lot of cleanup over here in the kind of water storage area, so not too different. Although what we can see actually, now that we're on this side, you can actually see right here the pylons that are going to be the big posts for the Golden Gate Bridge. So it's going to be coming straight up on each side. I wonder if there's one on this side too. Let's check. There is one on this side. So we've got a little bit of construction over here, and there's one over there as well. So that's what we're seeing already. We're going to see the big giant archways get placed on this bridge. Eventually this bridge will have to close when they install those. So it'll probably be like a one-way access through the other direction. And then of course the cafe changes over here as well to the Lucky Cat Cafe from the movie. Not sure if the Bodine items will remain, but we did also see the Cocina Cucamonga restaurant remain in the artwork, so that looks like it's staying. So if you like that restaurant, it's probably not going anywhere. And in the artwork, we couldn't see the Lucky Fortune cookery, at least from what I saw. But I would imagine it's probably going to stick around. No word yet, though, on if the Ghirardelli chocolate factory or chocolate fountain stays. And like I mentioned, the Pacific Wharf Cafe. I would imagine a big chunk of the bakery tour would make a really good spot for the Baymax meet and greet. Actually, we'll go inside there. They don't even really use it that much for a bakery tour anymore. They actually just throw tables in here now for additional dining in the cafe, although you can still see them making the sourdough bread, but it's a shell of what it used to be when you actually had a guided tour through here. They are still giving out the free samples of sourdough bread, and you can still watch the old intro from before when they used to have an actual tour through here. Anyone remembers this throwback from DCA 1.0?
Did you know that the traditional sourdough baking process goes back to the California Gold Rush?
But yeah, I feel like this space is going to make a really great meet and greet for Baymax. It's already kind of got that garage look, and over in Epcot, the Baymax meet and greet actually is the inside of Hito's garage, and both Hito and Baymax meet guests, so this could probably be an area that would work for that. So now that I had a closer look on the other side, you can see kind of from a far distance here, those over there are going to be the pylons for the Golden Gate Bridge portion of San Francisco's renovation of the bridge here. And then there's another one on this side for the front half of it. So now we know what those are going to be. And I'll show some artwork on the screen so you guys can see what that looks like. A lot of the buildings, like I mentioned, are going to remain the same. It looked pretty similar, just with different paint and some lanterns and things and accessories hanging on them. So, but it is moving pretty quick. Actually, they dug out deep for those pylons. You can see down in there. So they're moving on this project pretty quick. But like I mentioned, they probably are on a timeline that lines up with Grizzly River Run, because they can't keep that attraction closed too long, as spring break is just around the corner. So I actually made a stop over here at Disney's Grand Californian Hotel, and they're actually doing another pastry sculpture, but this time for Disney 100. So they got all 4 characters, all made out of edible items like fondant, Rice Krispie. It looks really good. It's still in progress, so it's probably going to continue growing. Does anyone else cut through Disney's Grand Californian Hotel and Spa when going to the structure? I feel like it's a definite must do if you're coming from Disney California Adventure anyway, because you can cut off so much time by cutting through the Grand Californian, walking out its front door, and just crossing the street right over there to the bridge that enters the parking structures. And if you're coming from the Paradise or Pixar Pier area of Disney California Adventure Park, you can actually come out the Pixar Pier exit for Paradise Pier hotel guests, and you'll actually come out the same direction but not have to cut through the Grand Californian's lobby. And again, all you do is just cross across the street right here, and then you all know where to go. Once you see the Disneyland Hotel, which is right there, you're going to continue on that way to the structure. So it's a definite time saver for sure, and you don't have to walk through the crowds of downtown Disney. Last few days they've been pretty bad, so save yourself some time and some hassle and walk out the Grand Californian if you're headed back to the structure on foot rather than the tram. I found a nice quiet spot here on Magic Way to wrap up this video, but I wanted to thank everyone for following along today on this quick little update. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit that like button on the video. It really does help the YouTube algorithm kind of push it out to more people. And consider subscribing, because I'm going to have a lot more content coming up. And if you liked my content and want to find more, I also have the 5571 podcast available on all podcast platforms, including Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And I'll leave a link to that as well down below so that you can subscribe. But thanks so much for watching, guys. Leave a comment below, and I'll see you in the next one.